6600.
Multiple explosions coming from 661. Unable to get any rigs out except for 667. Automatically go to a third alarm.
23.
All standby crews to go to station 2.
23 6699.
This is election night here in the U.S., so I want to thank everybody for spending a couple minutes with us as we go through our routines. This is our Ask Scanner School monthly get-together over here on both Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're joining us on either or, just go ahead and leave us a chat in the chat box, and we'll see the chat pop up over on this side over here. We got a little chat box going on. And if you're one of our Patreon extra credit members, you're also watching us live right now on Zoom. So I want to say hello to Jim and to Jackson. Thanks for joining us over there. And I'll be watching the chat box on there as well. So I got a lot of screens open up over here, and I got a lot of stuff going on. So hopefully we can get to it. So before we started the live stream this evening, I had asked in YouTube if there were any questions that can get me queued up and get me started on tonight's session. So we can jump right into the questions here, because I know everybody's dying to go and take a look at the election results. So we'll keep on going this. This is my first year, really. I'm just not interested in it. Usually I'm a diehard into politics, and lately I'm burnt out on it. So it's good to spend time with you guys. So let me go through a couple of questions that came in here really quick. So Roger was the first one. He says, on my feed, will it sound better if I switch from a sound card to a DAC? So honestly, Roger, you're talking about just voice, and you're going out over the internet. You don't need really high quality audio for streaming scanner radio feeds. It's just not something that requires a lot of bandwidth, something that requires a lot of thought process into it. You're probably not going to get much of a benefit out of it. To be honest with you, with my live feeds, the ones I've set up, I'm really running them right straight into a sound card. I'm running at 16,000 kilobits a second with 16 hertz of sample rate. It's 16 by 16,000. It's a really, really low sample rate, but it's good enough for listening to a scanner over the internet. By increasing the audio on it, I mean, I really haven't found a benefit. It makes the file sizes a lot larger, makes the packet a lot larger, makes the data more, when I first started setting these up, we were looking at GSM phones. So streaming data on a mobile device wasn't what it is today with 4G and 5G coming out now. So having something that had a small packet, something that was very light as far as audio, that was really what we were looking for. So it doesn't take a lot. I wouldn't really overdo it. I know somebody locally here who's streaming a live feed, and they're actually running the audio into a VCR and then running it back out again so they can get some sort of optimization on the levels of the audio, and then through a mixer. And it's like, dude, just plug it in the back of your computer and just get on with things. Nobody's really going to say, hey, this feed sounds so much better than the rest. I think that I think you'll be okay just keeping it simple and running it into the back of your computer. So that's a really good question. And I haven't really had it too many live feed type of questions coming in, so it's good to have that one in here. Les, see you in as well over there on the chat. Good to see you. James got you in on Zoom, And Paul got you in on Zoom as well. Again, I've got you guys on Zoom muted so I don't get a feedback. You've got any questions for me, I'm over on the chat box in Zoom right now. Michael's asking, could use some good leads for a 700 megahertz beam antenna, not more than 3 or 4 elements. Yeah, I got a good lead. I'm trying to move my mouse over to my laptop, and it doesn't really work that well, but I'll move it over into this chat box here. So I would recommend ScannerMaster, and here's actually our link to ScannerMaster. If you go to scannerschool.com, ScannerMaster, that's actually our affiliate link over to ScannerMaster. If you use that link, we will earn a affiliate on the sale. Basically, it's a referral fee. And what I'm going to do really quick is I'm just going to jump over onto my web browser here, and let's go ahead and just switch streams, and we'll transition over this way, and you guys will get the big messy desk again over in the corner. And while you're over here too, don't forget to go see tomorrow night. You'll get the Scanner guys over on YouTube. I was a guest on their YouTube channel a while back, so they got a great show and they got a lot of good stuff going on here. But if you come up here to antennas and you come into base antennas and you come out to rooftop single band Yagi, you'll find a couple of Yagi antennas that they have here. So it looks like what they have here right now is basically this telewave. Nothing really right now. It looks like for 700, 800. So let's take a look someplace else. Let's look at Gigaparts. Let's see what we got at Gigaparts. Let's see. We can go to products here. We can go to radio gear. We can go to antennas. Is it antenna systems or just antennas? We can try that. And yeah, we got base antennas, scanner and receiving antennas. Let's try base. We'll do multiples. Scanner receivers. No Yakis here. What we got here? Yeah, you don't want any of these. These are a little pricey. But there's definitely some other resources out here. This is more for the amateur radio market. You could also look at MFJ Enterprises. You can even take a look at Tesco and see if Tesco has anything. That's TESSCO. And they're more of like a warehouse type of deal. You're probably going to need to set up an account with them in order to buy from them. But they've got pretty much anything under the sun. So 700, watch this, 700 megahertz Yagi antenna pops right up here. And let's see what they got. $185, $79, 8-element Yagi. It's not a bad price on something like that. These are nice because they're fully enclosed. And let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, you got a couple of options here. Some will break the bank and some won't. So looks like you'll be okay here. So Tesco is a good resource as well. Again, you'll probably need to make up an account. But you should be good to go on that one. Great question. Glad to see you ask that one, Michael. All right, let's move on here. And let me know too. How am I doing with the answering here? Give me a couple thumbs up in YouTube, or even also in Facebook. I guess give me a like or something over there, so this way I can see how we're doing as far as answering the questions. No, I don't wish to exit. I almost lost you guys there for a second. Transition. All right. You guys got a little bit behind the scenes there for a second. Next question that comes in. Let me make sure I can get onto this screen here. Nope, not yet. We're not that far. Trying to catch up on some of these questions. Joe is asking, hey, Phil, how you doing? Been wanting to tell you, remember a while ago I was telling you the problem I had with Sentinel on my desktop. Wasn't opening and on his laptop. So, yeah, update a few things on his desktop. And it's working now, both. Oh, excellent. So, Joe, let me know what you did on those, and let me know what solved that issue for you. That's good to know. All right, I'm just gonna move this screen over here because you guys are. All right, perfect. All right, got a lot of screens going here. Let's see. Facebook user says, "What's up, buddy? Sorry, Facebook user, I don't know who you are." Michael is K0. QCS Davenport, Iowa. Good to have you on, Michael. Joseph, got you in again. Dale, good evening. How you doing? Kevin, how are you? Pete McSweetie. Will Uniden BCD 296D work for Claremont County, Ohio? Well, let's take a look. Let's change the screen here. We'll go back to Safari. You guys will get the messy desk again. And so we're looking here at radio reference in the wiki. And let's go ahead and take a look at Claremont County, Ohio. So we'll go to Ohio. See, my geography is spot on tonight. And we'll look for Claremont County. And let's take a quick look. So we've got Phase 1 P25. So far, so good. And yeah, you're not going to be able to do anything here with the LTR, the DMR, but you should be okay here on the Ohio mark. So let's just double check my work here, and we'll take a look at the wiki. And the wiki here is really cool. So we can search the wiki for BC 296D, and just to verify that we've got a valid answer for you. So radio reference compatibility says it will do APCO P25 digital audio operation. Boom, 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 boom. So yes, to answer your question, right here, Phase 1 standard. Excellent. So yes, that's a valid answer for you. Those older models, the what was it? The 296 was the mobile, the handheld, and I'm really having a brain fart when it came to the desktop one. Maybe somebody can pop that in for me as well. But I know I have the 790, so it was 796. That was it. 796 was the mobile one. So yeah, we're good on that one as well. Jim is saying in the chat box over here for the Zoom meeting, he says, is there any way to tell radio reference if a certain frequency is broadcast in digital? I was trying to listen to a first student bus here in Suffolk County, and I didn't get anything on my scanner at all. Jim, go ahead if you can paste in the link to that directly, and we'll take a quick look over here too and see if we can find it. But it's pretty simple to find out if something is digital. What we can do is you look at the modulation scheme. So let's look over here in Suffolk County, New York, and everything here which says mode, FM, FMM, right? That's all analog. When you come down, though, you start looking at, what a bad example in Suffolk County. Boom, 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 boom. Everything here is all analog. Here we go. We got one, EMS dispatch DMR, Brentwood Legion, right? This will tag in here that you have a digital. Huntington Manor also has a P25 repeater. So where is that one? No, that's up in Division 2. P25, right? So Dix Hill's Chief. So that's telling you it's digital because it's P25. Likewise, if you look at the amateur radio world, you'll see again FM, 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 right? These are all FM. D-Star is going to tell you it's digital. YFS, Yaesu System Fusions, digital, DMR, right? So basically, FM, AM, narrow FM is going to tell you it's analog. Everything else is pretty much going to tell you that it's going to be digital. All right. Going back over to our Facebook and YouTube chat. Again, guys, let me know how I'm doing. Thumbs up or likes in the videos, and let me know how we're doing here. All right. Next question coming in. Les, is there a problem with customs on eBay? He wants to ship to Canada. I've shipped outside of eBay through my own e-commerce store, East Coast Pagers. Bad plug there for myself. But I've shipped from the U.S. to Canada. As long as you've got all the right information on the declaration form, knock on wood here, I haven't had a problem crossing into Canada with anything I've sold. Let me go ahead too and swap over my scene so you guys are looking at me instead of the screen. All right, that makes a lot more sense now. So I have, like I said, I've sold into Canada. I've exported from the States into Canada quite a few times. And you just make sure everything's on a declaration. So when the package gets shipped, there's a declaration form that gets put on the outside of the box, and then if customs needs to look at anything, they can just open it up. There's a couple of times I did ship over as well, and there was no declaration form that was printed out to go on the outside of the box. FedEx looked at it kind of funny. They said, I don't know. I said, well, in my shipping platform, it was taken care of, so it must be on the tracking number, and that also came into Canada just fine. So your money is going to vary, though, when it comes to getting things from the States into Canada. But I think as long as the person shipping it follows pretty much what they have to follow, and again, it's just another clear envelope with declarations on it, if you're going to ship through FedEx or any of the major manufacturers, I do all my international through FedEx. You just walk in the store and you tell them where it's going, and you can hand them the paperwork, and they will actually handle entering into the computer and putting it on the package for you. Dale's recommending the Antenna Farm. That's also a great site. I completely forgot about the Antenna Farm, and I am going to write that one down so I don't forget about it again. Okay. Boy, we are on a good roll tonight. I actually was expecting nobody to show up with what was going on, but I guess we're all burnt out from the election. We're not going to find news out anyway, so we might as well spend time with me, right? Jeff, what's up? How you doing? Let's see. Grant, Melbourne, Australia. Good to have you in, Grant. Thanks for joining us again. Grant always joins us when we do our Zello Nets every Tuesday. We're not on here. So, again, if you want to try to join us, you can go to scannerschool.com/Zello. I'm just looking over here at the other... Yeah, I'm looking at the chat box over there on Zoom. You guys are having a good conversation over there. I'll come back to that in 1 second. Kevin, how you doing? Kevin, you can join us over on Zoom as well. So if you look at the Patreon dashboard, you should have a link over there. Rich Collins in Indiana, heading west of Chicago. How you doing, Rich? Rich, I got to get you or Howard on the podcast to talk about the LICWOP. Would like to love to get you guys on there. So, Rich, thanks for checking in, and safe travels. I know we're about to start your busy season. Let's see. Kirby is saying, will the Uniden SDS 200 scan out of the box? Yes, it has to scan out of the box because you can't plug it in the wall when it's in the box. Boom. All right. Yes, it will scan out of the box. What you really want to do, though, is you're going to want to do an update with Sentinel right away. This will take everything from radio reference and put it into the scanner so that you have the most updated information. It really, you can't. It could work out of the box. Your best results, though, will be if you can at least update the database. When you update the database, you'll get everything from radio reference as of the previous Monday or the most recent Monday. And then you can go ahead and you can put in your zip code, your range that you want to scan. And again, I recommend a very small range because we're dealing with overlaps here, which I'll explain in 1 second. And then what ends up happening is the radio should scan out of the box. So what happens really with the ranges, and one of these days I'll hook up my iPad to the computer so I can start drawing on the screen. That's really what I want to get with this. That'd be really cool to do here. But what the ranges is, say you have your zip code and you set up things for a certain mile. Oh, you know what we could do? We can actually do this on radio reference. Let me go ahead and swap screens on here as well. We'll do, Safari, transition. You guys are going to get the messy desk again. So we're looking at radio reference, and let's go ahead and just say, I'm in Nassau County, right? I'm here. This is physically where I live. Well, my adjacent county is Suffolk County. And if I say, here's my zip code, and I want a range of, say, half a mile, that means anything that covers within the half a mile that I am in and those rings touch, we're going to receive. So, for example, if I look at law enforcement here and I look at view subcategory details, look at this circle, right? This circle covers into Nassau County. That means that if my range is 0 miles, I'm still going to receive everything in Suffolk County because it is an overlapping loop. If I lived on this side of the border where the Y is, and I've had a 0 mile range, then I wouldn't hear anything in Suffolk County. It wouldn't be turned on in the scan list. However, if I set my scan list, and let's just assume that the distance from this border here to this border here is 10 miles, and I'm over here in the Y, and I set my circle for 10 miles, my circle would then overlap or touch this circle here in Suffolk County, and my scanner is going to try and scan everything that covers in this little circle, even 60 plus miles out away over here in the tip of Long Island, that I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to hear. So you'd like to put in the smallest range possible. And that's really the reason why. So yes, long answer, short answer, long answer, short. Yes, it will scan out of the box. All right. Dale's answering for the early question. Yes, Dale, BC 796D. What a great radio. Philip is asking on the SDS 100, can the keyboard button be lit in the dark? There is a keyboard button on here as far as whether or not you want to eliminate it, and it should be able to come on when I think when the squelch is open or when you do a key press. There's also timeout on it, but there is a button on the bottom right hand side that gives you the ability to manually turn things off and on. So now it's off, and I push the button, and now it comes on. So that works that way as well. Boy, I got fingerprint smudges on this thing. Hey guys, by the way, I picked up a new toy this past month. Actually, 2 new toys. I had to buy it. This is a ICOM ICR1, a little blast from the past. Wanted one of these things for a while and was finally able to afford it. This thing is actually really cool. There's I believe this does almost DC up to a gig. This is like a mid-90s, early 90s model, but this is the actual size of the radio. There's actually a lithium-ion pack in there, and then you can go ahead and you can add an extra battery on it. But this was it, man. This was the radio I wanted, and I ended up with the Uniden BC200 XLT. So 20, 30 almost years later, I ended up with one of these, I guess. I don't know. And then what else I picked up? I picked up just to play around with, an ICOM ICR5. So something I wanted for a while as well. But I'm still buying the ICR6. I don't know why. I got this disease where I had to buy radios. So, yeah. All right, what else we got here coming in? Let's see. Kevin saying, you always say the secrets are in the searches. Yes, I love that phrase. We coined that phrase with Chris Paris on the podcast. The secrets are in the searches. Can you elaborate on that? Should I have ID search on or off? So, Kevin, the secrets are in the searches means that there's a lot more out there than what you see on radio reference or what you see in printed documents or shared in news groups. You're going to find a lot more when you actually hit the search button on your scanner and see what else is out there. Like on a whim, I set the search mode up and I discovered that the U.S. Postal Service here on Long Island, or actually probably more in Queens or Brooklyn, was operating on a DMR repeater. Radio Reference has that same frequency set up for a P25. Chances are good that the sorting facility is using that frequency but in DMR, and the actual postal inspectors are using the same frequency for P25. So that's what I mean, like the secrets are in the searches. You're going to find really cool things out when you actually put the scanner into search mode. We're not talking strictly on like ID search when it comes to a trunk system, but that's always cool too, because you may find new talk groups, or you may find, we're looking at IDs where they're showing up. Might give you some more of an idea of who's using a talk group if you don't know who it is. So there's, it's almost like the lost art when it comes to scanning, and this is really where I'm passionate about teaching people. It's like there's the hobby of listening to the police, then the fire, and the typical stuff that people get involved with when they want to listen to a scanner. But there's a lot more out there, and all we got to start doing is peeling back the layers a little bit. And the secrets are definitely in the searches. And there's definitely ways we can help each other out with searches like Close Call or Signal Stalker. And I'm going to start going into those methods really short on the podcast, because with the holiday season coming up, it'd be great to be able to sit outside while, your kids or your wife want to go inside shopping, and you'd rather, put hot sauce in your eyeballs, right? So to have, if you have your scanner with you and you hit the search bar, or you hit the Signal Stalker or Close Call, maybe you'd pick up security or a floor runner or something else going on in maybe some of these strip malls, these stores, or those kinds of things. So even National Communication Magazine, their issue that just released this week is all about monitoring during the holiday seasons. So we're going to go into that a little bit during this holiday season on the podcast as well. Facebook user is saying, hey, Phil, love your podcast. Facebook user, thank you very much. Again, let us know how we're doing. Some thumbs up and some likes in the videos as we go through these questions. We got a lot more here. We may actually go a little late tonight. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so Joseph's following up saying that it was the .net he needed to install, so that got his Sentinel up and running. Ross is asking, is the SDS 100 better than the 436 HP? It's a different animal. So the SDS 100, SDS 200 will work very well in a simulcast environment. With the 436, it may not work well for you at all. So the whole point of the SDS is like a software-defined radio built into a scanner. So it is better when it comes to that. There's some other tweaks and quirks when it comes to comparing one to the other. Your color display, lithium-ion battery versus AA batteries. And I mean, I really should do a whole You know what? I'm writing this down. Comparing the SDS 100 versus the 436, because that is a great question, and that's a podcast episode right there. Excellent. What else we got going on here? So if you don't have any simulcast P25, I think that you could save some dollars and go with the 436. Again, I still take the 436 out all the time. That's my go-to radio, but that's where we are with that one. So listen, guys, usually I stop right around here and I go over to my Zoom only guys, but we got a lot of questions, so let's just keep on going. Let's see, and let's see what we got going on here. Another Facebook isn't populating for some reason in the chat box. I apologize for that, guys. Facebook users asking on the BCD996P2, what is the IFX for under number 4 along with level under 5? So I have to refresh my memory on level. I think that's the decoding threshold levels in the scanner, if I'm not mistaken. But the IFX, that's a cool one. And we did talk about that one on the podcast, but if I haven't done it again, IFX, I'm writing that one down too as well for a podcast episode. So the IFX is the actually, you know where I answered this one? I answered this one on an earlier Ask Scanner School, because Pete DeVosto actually asked this question about IFX, and here's really where it's used for. So the IF is the local oscillator basically of the scanner. And they built scanner and the filtering systems all around a single frequency because it's a lot easier to tune to that than it is to tune to everything. So let's just say the IF in your scanner is 10 megahertz, okay? So what actually happens is when you tune your dial and it says 450 megahertz, what's actually happening is your scanner is receiving on 440 megahertz. 440 megahertz comes in, mixes with the IF, and that gives you the 450 megahertz, right? It's the little magic of the block diagram of what's happening here. What happens, though, if you have a birdie or you have something in your home or as you're driving that interferes with that reception, either on the IF channel or on the frequency that you actually have coming in? Well, that's where the IFX comes into play. When you set the IFX button, that now changes the IF from the normal value to a other value. Let's just say, for example, it's 20 megahertz when you hit the IFX button. That means now instead of your scanner tuning to 440 to receive 450, it now tunes to 430 to receive 450, and that on occasion could help you with birdies and interference and stuff like that. I know I have issues in the springtime where I live. Low band goes to poop, and it locks up all the time when I'm trying to scan like 4632, 4612, 4622, 4620. Constantly locks up with my scanner. So if I IFX that, problem solved. All right, Kenneth, you're over here on the chat box. Kenneth, if you're not over, nope, you're not, but you can join us over there on Zoom. We'll eventually, when we get through these questions here, we'll do our Zoom roundtable discussion over there. Somebody in Facebook is asking, do you feel all public safety will eventually go encrypted? Probably not, because it costs money to go there. So you have a lot of agencies that just aren't going to pay for that. They don't have a reason to upgrade their systems, or they're not financially able to. There's a lot of places out there that are running around with some old equipment. It's good enough for them. There's no reason for them to go P25 or DMR or NXDN or anything like that that's brand new. So they don't have a reason to go P25. There's also plenty of public safety agencies that said, hey, our dispatches will be, okay, they'll be digital P25, but we'll leave them in the clear. All of the tactical, narcotics, surveillance, all of that kind of stuff is going to be encrypted. So they're kind of throwing us a bone when it comes to the scanner radio hobby, and are having some transparency there, but they're also taking away, not taking away. I want to phrase this one different. They're also able to give officers safety when they roll over to a tactical channel. Let's put it that way, because that's really, when you look at things, and again, I try and look at things not from one side of the fence to the other side of the fence, and I get it, right? From a scanner radio user, we want to know what's going on. We hate encryption. But with the public safety side of things, they have lives on the line, and if somebody is going to ambush somebody, using a scanner, sadly, could help with that, right? And we all know from a couple of, recent events, and if things don't go the way people want them to go tonight, I mean, writing's on the wall. There's going to be some ugly things happening too. People use scanners to say, hey, police are here, police are there, go over here, stay from there. So there's both sides of the story here. I understand it. And, I just don't think full encryption would ever happen 100% in the States, but you never know. Because in the UK, they are on Tetra, and it's encrypted. So you just never know. Philip was asking, can the keyboard be on the SES-100 be lit in the dark? I think you asked that one already. I thought I answered that one. If I didn't, I apologize, but I'm going to skip over it right now. Will is following up here. Don't trust radio reference. Do your own research. Found dozens of errors on my years of scanning. Yeah, Will. So again, that kind of goes to the secrets or in the searches here. But again, radio reference is also it's a community-driven database. So it's only as good as the information that is provided to it. So if you have any updates to it, if you can submit it to the radio reference database, I as an admin try and vet out what we can and double check everything that's submitted in. So you'll, if you find anything that's wrong, definitely submit it. Can I post a link to Antenna Farm? I believe that's just antennafarm.com. Let's just take a look and see if that works. Antenna Farm. Let's see what we got here. The Antenna Farm. That's what it is. I'll put that in the link. And it looks like it just cost them money because I clicked on their ad. All right, the Antenna Farm. I'm posting that for you, Jeff, as a link. Okay. Boy, we got a lot more going on here. Let's see. Will saying the CBC website and licenses will give you the accurate information. That's true. I guess you're up in Canada. All right. Yep, Kenneth's following up with what I just said. PD McSweetie, where can I get my scanner programmed? Already tried Scanner Master, and they said they can't. I wonder why. What type of scanner, and why wouldn't they do it? Let's see. Michael's commenting in as well. Public safety will be in the clear as they want to engage the public. Kirby says, thanks for doing a great job. Hey, my pleasure, Kirby. I love doing this stuff. Let's see. Scott from New Jersey. Do you feel all public safety will eventually go fully encrypted? All right. Another question. Need a T-shirt with that motto. I know. I have a store I took down, but we'll get that. I got a couple of good suggestions out there. There's one shirt I really like. In fact, I got a cup that says it too, but it's upstairs. My coffee cup. It says, I hear my wife, but I listen to my scanner. So, it kind of shows where we are. Or, be quiet, listen to my scanner, those kinds of deals. Les is saying good night. Good night, Les. Let's see what else we got here. Joe, how are you doing? And CQ Kentucky, how about a podcast on scanner laws for each state? Yes, I am actually working on that one, and what a rabbit hole and pain in the neck it is to find scanner laws for each and every single state. They are buried. I actually have a Word document. We're going through them all. If you guys know of any, please submit them to me. You just go to phil@scannerschool.com. It's a great way to send them to me. Because what ends up happening is not only do you have states, but you've got counties, you've got jurisdictions, you've got towns, villages, hamlets, and each one changes their laws. So it really is almost an impossible task to try and get all the answers to that one. I know if I do a podcast episode on that, it's going to leave a lot out. And just to give you an idea, let's see what we got here. See if maybe I'll take back the onion a little bit here. Give you guys a peek behind the curtain, and let's just see what we've got here. Let's see. Oof. I'm looking for the document. Still looking for the document. Still looking for the document. Let me see if I can just type in laws. LAWS, TBW, scanner laws. All right, let's take a look. So we're going to flip over really quick here. And I know I'm going late on you guys here. Hopefully you Patreon guys don't mind. We'll definitely do our session after this is all wrapped up. So just so you guys see, I mean, we are actively doing a document here that has, again, podcast episode TBD. And we are filling in scanner laws as refining, and eventually we'll comb through all these laws here and turn them into a podcast episode. Looks like, though, we've got 47 pages of research that we need to kind of come in through and summarize and everything else. So there is quite a lot in here. And to be honest with you, I'm going to farm this out to my virtual assistant and let her come through and write the report up, and we'll do a podcast episode on it. So yes, there is a podcast episode in the works for scanner laws. And again, too, let's just see where we have this one tabled in there. So I'm going to give you guys another sneak peek because I like you guys so much tonight. Let's see where we are here. Scanner School episode guide. Where is the Scanner School episode guide? Scanner School episode guide. All right, let's transition over here. And yeah, so these are the dates we've got, and these are all the episodes we've done. And let's see, this is where we are here. So this is where we're sitting out to the end of the year. We just recorded combining antennas this weekend. Scanner radio reviews, splitting antennas. So this is where we're sitting, guys. Where is that? Well, S Scanner Laws is looking like a February release date right now. So you can kind of see where we're sitting right now on our podcast episodes. This is fluid. It may change, but yeah, this is where we're looking. So not much after first quarter. But if anybody wants to be a guest on the podcast, that certainly helps me. It helps me fill in a couple of spots. I love having guests and having you guys on here. Kenneth was a guest. Jackson is also in our Zoom session tonight. He was a guest on the podcast as well. So love having you guys on the podcast to talk about what you guys are doing with the scanner radio hobby. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Back over to the chat box. Where did you go, chat box? All right. Tony's saying, I don't know if it's been asked, but what's your opinion on the ICOM ICR30 receiver? Is it able to detect signals automatically without manually changing the modes? You know what, Terry? I haven't played around with the ICOM R30. I don't have an answer. For you on that one. I do apologize. I was actually eyeballing somebody local to me has an ICOM ICR20 that they were going to that they have listed on eBay, and I put in an offer for that one. But yeah, I gotta stop buying radios. If I end up with that one, I'll let you know, Terry. All right, Max, thanks for joining us again. Let's see. Joseph is coming in here to answer the question about the 436 comparing to the STS 100. He says there's a YouTube on that one about the number scanner. Okay. Joe, KC2QYW from Harrison, how you doing? Sal, how you doing? Sal Marandola is on. Sal, you, I think you're also able to get the Zoom session. Let's see what else we got here. Jeff's coming in. Roger's asking, have I used radio reference to program unication pages like the G4? So, full disclosure, Roger, I am a unication dealer. Here's my G4. Here's my G3. Here's my G5. Here's my G1. So, where's my G2? It's floating around here somewhere. It's somewhere. But yes, I've Even got the rare now, the reds and the yellows. Can't buy them anymore. What else we got here? Here's my beta test. Nope, that's not my beta test, but here's another G5. So anyway, yes, you can use Radio Reference easily to import from Radio Reference into PPS. I'd show you here, but it takes a while for me to get that set up right now for the live stream. But you can use it. What you would do is, well, I'll lead you into it and then have you kind of go through there. Where's your minute of 4? You know what? Jeff, you want to be a wise guy? Here you go. Minute of 4. Minute of 4. Minute of 4. Minute of 5. Minute or 6. All right, there you go. So there we go. All right, where's your M16? Yeah. All right, that I can't help you with. All right, so going back to the other question. So let's go quickly and see how we go ahead and do this before. I'm not gonna be able to get it loaded up for you right now, but let me just show you really quick what you have to start off with. So what we're going to do is first I'm just going to clear out my my browser window, and we'll go back into Radio Reference in just 1 second here. All right, database, frequency database, and we're going to transition over. We are loading up the database. So what you would do is you come into your state, you come into your county. Disclosure here is you need to be a paying member of Radio Reference, and you'll go into the P25 system you're trying to import. You're going to want to look at the system ID in the Wacom, and you're going to want to take note of that. You want to click on download, and then you're going to download the CSV file for all sites and frequencies, and also for the talk groups. Once you have these two saved in here, what you can do is you open up PPS, and then you'll you go into the frequency section. You go into the trunking settings. Then you can import the frequencies for the trunk system. After that, what you end up doing is you go into the group ID settings. Then you go and you import the group IDs, and it brings in all the talk groups. So that's how you would do it. I do have to make a few videos on that one for East Coast pagers, because those are some big questions. I want to get those created. Just basically me sitting down programming a pager and those kinds of deals. So that would be in there as well. Let's see. We're getting down to the very bottom here. Let's see. On the Home Patrol 2, what is the website for UPD? Steve is asking. I'm guessing to update it. You would have to go to myunidin. myunidin.unidin.com. Is it my.unidin.com? So if you go to my.unidin.com, you can actually register the device. If you need the software, though, you're going to need the Sentinel that has the orange background on that one. And let's see if I do a scannerschool.com/Sentinel. Will that do it? It will do it. I actually created the page. So let's do, scannerschool.com/Sentinel. I posted a link in there as well. And what you'd want to do is you want to click on the link for the wiki page, and that will take you over to the Home Patrol wiki page, where you can go in there and you can download Sentinel. And then inside Sentinel, you can do your firmware upgrades, and you can do the database update and stuff like that. So that's where we'll get that as well. Let's see. Roger's saying dealer with a great review. Charlie's over there in North Carolina. And that takes us to the bottom of the chat list. Excellent. We went through all of the questions that came in this evening. And again, thumbs up or likes on the videos if that's in there. Let me take a quick look over here on the Zoom chat and see where we're sitting on this one. Make sure I didn't leave any questions behind. Looks like you guys are busy answering your own questions, so that's good to know as well. So we will keep an eyeball on the chat box for anything that's incoming last minute. But while we are doing that, I am going to transition to a new screen over here because I want to make sure I take the time right now to thank all of our Patreon supporters. And Patreon is what keeps Scanner School going. So I want to thank all the Patreon supporters, especially those at the $5 a month level. And again, $5 a month is basically just about $1 a week when it comes to a podcast. And not only do you get the podcast early, but you get these really cool stickers that, is it working? There we go. There's one sticker. Here's another one. And there's a third one too, but you'll have to be a Patreon member to see it. No, I'm just kidding. It's behind some rubber bands, so it doesn't look that great. But you get your stickers mailed to you. You get the podcast early. You get the podcast without a commercial break in it. You get discount codes. You've got live Q&A sessions. So the live Q&A session will follow this one just for the Extra Credit Club. And there'll be more coming. So, all right, guys. Steve, thanks again at the end there, too. Jeff, thank you so much. And with that, everybody who's over on Zoom right now, stand by. We'll swing over there 1 second. And for everybody who caught us over here on the replay, or I'll come back and check messages and replays as well. But again, share the podcast. Scannerschool.com is the podcast. Make sure you share it with everybody that likes radios and scanners and all that stuff. And make sure you subscribe and to the YouTube channel as well, because we are going to start pushing out a lot more YouTube content in 2021. So make sure that you subscribe so you get it as well. Guys, thanks again. Have a good night. And may your favorite candidate win. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll find out next month. Take care, everyone, and have a good night.